Well, today we're going to do a little spring garden tour, early summer, and see how everything's looking. We're going to go around the whole yard today and just do a quick talk about everything. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time, but everything's coming up and doing fair, but it's still a little rough because of our cold winter. So some of the palms are still a little rough, and a few of the tropicals didn't come up, but most of them did. And we'll take a look and see and just give you a quick rundown. So here we go. And first up here we have our blue Butea odorata. We had to cut some more fronds off it just to make it look good. We're not too concerned about it getting really big, so we went ahead and cut the fronds because there's several that had some brown tips. So we cut it down to, got rid of the ones that had the brown tips and got it down to these ones that have pretty good. But we had to cut quite a few fronds, but see, it's getting a pretty big trunk. And over here is our little Riverside palm, Sable Riverside. It's making a little bit of comeback. It got a little froze. It was just covered, unheated, with a little cooler. And we got some Canna Maui Punch there about to bloom. Got three little sables here. They're kind of our plan B, so when the Butea goes away one day, we'll have some things in here. We got a regular Sable Minor, and we've got a Sable Minor Louisiana, and another Sable Minor. They're all pretty close, so that'll make a pretty thick bunch when they get bigger. We got some coffee cups I moved here this corner. And continuing on this way, we have a little needle palm, and we've got our planted in the back, so we go against this big tall wall. Here's the plan. Is we've got a fairly small Trachycarpus regular Fortunei in there. We've got one here. We've got a Trachycarpus. It's still a Fortunei, but it's supposed to be the Bulgaria. You can see it's really stretching. It's got some long fronds on it, if you can see that there. And down beside it, we put yet another Fortunei. And we have a big Sable Minor here that come through the winter really good. This one's getting pretty big. This one's probably going on, getting closer to 5 feet tall. We've got another needle palm here, which might eventually overtake this Japanese maple behind it, and we'll have to make some decisions. Got a Cordy line we put out here that's not looking too great. Got a couple of Sable Minors back in there. And there you can see our Japanese maple. Has to be trimmed up quite a bit. It's really likes to go crazy. Here we have our protected Sable Birmingham. This one's getting a fair size to it. Getting a little bit of a trunk going here on it, about 6 inches tall. Got some more red cannas here. I think it's Red Hubert. Regular Sable Minor. And we'll go over here and look. We've got our mule palm. I'll have to get back pretty far to get it in the video. Let's see what angle I can get in the video here. There's the top of it. It's coming out. It's got 3 new fronds going. So let's look at that one little area, and we'll go and take a look at a few of the other areas. And we'll start out over here. Tons of plants. I don't know if we can go over every one, but we got Silver Saw Palmetto. pretty little. That's new this year. We're trying to see what it's going to do. We've got one of our larger sable miners here that's blooming. Bloom stalks really large here. It's going on up, all up into our rocket palm here. And our rocket palm, you can see, is a female. It's got some seeds starting there. And here's a view of our rocket palm, which is about, I don't know, that's about 14 feet now. We've got another sable miner. Don't show it much, it's back in the back. Several of the sable miners, you can see the spotting from the winter time back there. And of course, here's our incredibly large sable miner Louisiana. You can see it's getting pretty big. It's got a few damaged fronds from the wind, but it's gonna, I'll get back going as soon as summer hits here. It puts out about 6 fronds or more, and it's got probably about a 8 or 10 inch trunk, if you can call it that. It's starting to go up a little bit. And over here we've got this other Trachycarpus fortunei. This one was damaged a little bit. These fronds are a little rough on these older fronds from the cold. I still left them on here to try to get it going, but they just wasn't wrapped as good as some of the other ones, so this took a little bit of beating. And we got some calla lilies, some Christmas ferns down at the bottom. These ferns in this area for some reason are doing really well. They're getting pretty big. And we got our Canna tropicana. Not close to blooming quite yet, but when it does, it'll bloom most of the summer, and really good tropical looking plant to have. And of course, we got our bamboo here, which also took a little bit of beating in this cold. It's already down to 0 pretty good in the pot, but -6 is pretty tough on it. As we move around here, we've got another little sable miner Louisiana. We've got a cordyline red sister. This is one we kept in the garage all winter, so it's gonna look good. These like a lot of heat, so they'll look better in the summer. And we've got in the back there, we've got the palmetto that we had to trunk cut. You can see it's growing back pretty good. We got some oriental lilies back in the back. We have a giant calla lily. We have some more canna in here, just all types of things in this area. Here's our sable miner Brazoria, which is still recovering. So we had a few bigger palms here, took a beating. We have this smaller dwarf sable miner in here. And even yet another one. We have one that was a bigger one, sable miner Louisiana, that's coming back too. That one's been really hurt a couple of years in a row. Got another sable miner here, a little stand of pink china. That's one of your hardiest elephant ears, down to zone 6 at least. You can see why they call it the pink china here, pink on the stem. We got an alocasia here, which is an upright elephant ear. These get pretty big. This is Alocasia portora. We've got starting our hardy hibiscus, which will start blooming here before long. And of course, go back, our larger Trachycarpus here, which is a real pretty one with some stiff fronds, and that one's always looking real good for us. Go around here and look at some of our shade area. We have a Fatsia spider's web. We have some pineapple lilies. That's another Fatsia. This is the variegated form. And in the back we have, ferns everywhere. We have another sable minor dwarf. That's the one that's blooming, the Blountstown dwarf. It's blooming on the, you can see it on the other side there. Or actually you can see the bloom a little bit there on this little bitty dwarf. This thing is teeny tiny, but take a look at it there. There's an Aucuba japonica in the back. Calla lily. And a lot of ferns in here. Pretty new addition that we put in for winter time. We've got a bunch of cast iron plants. Another pineapple lily will be blooming. We'll do an update. This is the regular green form of the Fatsia japonica. Another Aucuba. Small sable minor in there getting going. Pineapple lily. And another, for us at least, a relatively large Fatsia, this going on its second year here, the variegated form. And here we get back into the palms. We've got our Trachycarpus wagnerianus, female, blooming here with a lot of seeds. So it's crossed with one of our regular Fortunais. And we've got another one of the dwarfs down here, sable minor dwarf. And one of our other Fortunais. This one's 8 or 9 feet tall now. It's got about 6 or more feet of trunk. Probably a little bit taller. And I don't think I showed it in the last video, but we also have, here's our Birmingham that got whacked back as well, unprotected. This was a pretty big Birmingham here, and so I hated it to get knocked back. This thing was probably 7 feet tall. Yeah, so scattered behind it till it grows back. I put in some of these little Pharaoh's mask. We had them come back, so I had several to split off into different things. Yeah, it's back here in the shade areas. We got some other Colocasia alohas. Those will get pretty big. Some more Tropicana. Of course, our bamboo that we like. Got another potted Washingtonia robusta here. And here's an inside look of the pergola with our Spectabilis. It still looks pretty good from the inside view here. It took a little bit of a beating this year. And in here we've got some different elephant ears. That's the pink china. Aloha again. These little elephant ears that we use for ground cover. About this year was the first year that a lot of them got hurt. And so these, we probably had about 50 to 70% of them die this year on us. But this is Colocasia phallax, this little one here is. They only get about 18 inches tall. And let's see, this is a Colocasia mojito. So a little shady area that stays wet, so we got some elephant ears in here. Here's another needle palm on the corner. This probably outgrow this corner. We'll have to either trim it back or do something to keep it in check. And here's another little elephant ear we have in here. This is white lava or something. More Tropicana. And yet another palm that's got to make a recovery. This is another Birmingham. One of our bigger needle palms, 4 feet plus. See down there, it's got some, might have some seeds. Another one of our pretty big Trachycarpus here. This one's probably another 12 to 14 feet. There's some Asiatic lilies in here blooming. And another one of our needle palms. We showed it in another video, our giant calla lily here, which is really huge. There's the regular calla lily beside it. See the difference. Some spiderworts, some more canna. Another canna that's getting ready to bloom. Spiderworts. And we have a back area back here with some ground cover. Speedwell. And some of our giant indica red, I think they call these. These will get 10 to 12 feet. Pretty big on these. These are already over my head here. Well, that's pretty much the tour for today. That was kind of a quick tour of how everything's looking, and we'll check back probably in July or something with a better tour when everything's filled in some more. So anyway, I hope everybody's having a good day, and we'll see you later.